Hi, everybody, and welcome to Sylvia and Peter talking about mental health in general and mental health in business in particular. As you know, we pick up topics that we think are hot off the press or something that we've been mulling over for a while. And this video is about support. And we would call it, have we become support junkies? Do we think we need support for everything, everywhere? And just ignore the light that comes down in little strings. I'll move out now and again. So have we become support junkies in the workplace? Do we need to have someone looking after our every health and well-being aspect? Or is it just something that we are imagining?
It's interesting because I did a talk recently at a risk leadership network event, and they were talking about support of mental health and well-being and well-being in the workplace and its impact on talent and talent risk. And we were talking about all those different things there. And one of the attendees, in a curious, inquisitive, wondering way, not in a negative way whatsoever, was inquiring about, it is brilliant to have all this support in the workplace, mental health support, support for this, support for that. But his question to us all, to the whole group, was, but are we not on a downside way, encouraging people to be less resilient? That when the going gets tough, they don't get going, they give up and either stay at home, or they don't dig deeper. That's along the lines of what he was talking about. And we had quite a discussion around that because it's a very interesting point. I work at a local college, and even the young people there, the tutors are getting quite frustrated sometimes that the students will ring in, I'm tired, I'm having a day off, I'm exhausted, I'm having a day off. And it is interesting because, coming from a business point of view, there is an element of, from a business point of view, being very compassionate and empathic when people really do need support. But at what level is it a case of dig a bit deeper to come out of that comfort zone, to get a result, to overcome, whatever it may be? And it's a really fascinating area of conversation, and our conversations are about talking about things that some people don't. So it'd be interesting to see what you think about that, Peter, and also our viewers.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. I think that maybe we are expecting too much support on everything. And then on the other hand, well, are we not also talking, you and I amongst others, that we should treat each other at work as human beings, not as robots or just a resource? And if we go down that road, well, we do come with our weaknesses, we do come with our illnesses. Let's talk about menopause, for example, having to be a recognized, I wouldn't call it illness, but feature of women's health, and therefore that needs to be respected in the workplace. And, I don't see why not. But I do have a problem when people are proud to say, oh, we give our employees the right to have a mental health day per month. Why do you need a specific mental health day? I mean, either you are able to go to work or you're not. It shouldn't matter whether it's your mental health or physical health. Either you're well or you're not well enough to go to work. So we're looking at offering support for this, that, and the other, which I do appreciate, I do like, and I think we should. But maybe we're looking at the symptoms rather than the root causes. Mm-hmm. Because if we did treat people with just bog standard respect and care and attention, we wouldn't need to have all these support things going, because we never took people to that state of crisis or near crisis where they think that, oh, the world is against me because I go to work and I can't do that. So whilst we have started to talk about this mental health and well-being in general, maybe it's the awareness of it that gets so much focus that we think it's now taking over. that we have become a bunch of weaklings. As you and I have talked about before, someone said to me once, I employ people, not patients.
Yes, I remember.
And it's a very stark message, but it does prove a point that actually there's only so much that you can do as an employer to have support schemes for all sorts of things. But if that is all you have, and that underneath all of that, your attitude to your staff is horrendous, then all these support things have no value whatsoever. So I just wonder whether it's in the workplace, if it's an attitude problem we have rather than an over-reliance on support.
Mm. What's come up for me, the difference between support and overcoming, because if you know, for my own using my own experience as an example, I struggled, as many know, with my mental health many years ago. Now it could be easy to have got stuck there rather than digging deeper and overcoming, but by doing that I grew stronger. I went on to bigger and better things. You know, I think my point is, you know, it's very easy to give up. It's very easy to go, oh, that's too hard, whatever it may be, rather than digging a bit deeper. What do I need? What do I want? What would I like to have happen? What do I need more of? And that sometimes that's hard, digging deeper. And I think this is what the angle that the attendee was talking about, you know, rather than digging deeper, it's too easy to go and get support. And getting support is fantastic, but we don't grow unless we overcome what it is. You know, to your point, you know, we fix the symptom, but we don't look at the underlying cause. You know, and you know, and if someone's struggling with a new system in their workplace, they'll go and get training, they'll go and get, you know, a bit of support, you know, someone will come and give them some bit of guidance, or they might need some mentoring of how they're managing to do that. But they overcome and they grow and they develop. They don't sort of stay stuck. And I think this is, I'm struggling, I'll go and get that support. Great. But are you going to overcome and grow and get better? A lot of, you know, it's a very, you know, difficult area, I think, but it's a really valid point. I also believe, because from a business point of view, we want our employees to be as effective as possible. Otherwise they don't grow, and you don't get the talent that you need, and the individual doesn't come out of their comfort zone, even if their comfort zone is not a great place to be.
Could it be, Sylvia, that maybe we're building a culture or a mentality of done for you support, so that if you have a problem, you go to someone and they fix it for you? I keep saying to my clients that the hard work where things start to move is the work that you do between sessions. Because I can't fix anything for anybody. I can get people to a point where they take self-responsibility for their life and for their future, and then they go and do what needs to be done. I can't live somebody else's life as a therapist. I can't just flick a switch and it's better. And I just wonder whether we are being trained to think every time there's a bump in the road, you need support for that bump. And then that support will iron the bump out for you, not teach you how to jump it, tunnel it, or go across it.
It's interesting because I've seen quite a few posts recently about accountability and responsibility from the angle that quite a few people have written that it's actually the employer's responsibility. You know, the responsibility for well-being lies with the employer. My personal view is it's a balance. It's 50-50. You know, the employer has a duty because they employ people. At the same time, we as individuals, in my opinion, have a responsibility. I have a responsibility for my own life, and if something's going wrong with it, I will go and seek support, or whatever it might be. Someone come and fix the fence, or someone come and give me some mentoring, or someone come and do something around the house. But it's my responsibility and my accountability, rather than relying on other people to come and do it for me. Because quite often it's from, you know, if I asked you, Peter, what would you do in this situation or that situation, that would be from your experience and your expectation and your beliefs, your value systems, which may not be mine, but I might go and do that and hang on, that's not what's going on. So I have a responsibility for myself too. So I do agree that it's up to me to be responsible for myself. And if things aren't going right at work, it's up to me. It's a collaboration, it's a two-way street, not one having more than the other.
It is, and I think the employer is responsible for creating the environment.
Culture.
But
Yeah.
then it's everybody else's responsibility to maintain that environment. But you also have to look at what people bring into work. And this is where this patient versus people probably also comes in, because are we now expecting the employer to provide support for issues that are actually having their root causes outside of work? And I don't know to what extent that is fair to expect. But on the other hand, if we, as I keep saying, look after the people in the organization, the people will look after the organization. So it's a very fine line to figure out, should I actually just ignore that people turn up for work with a depression like I did for so many years? I didn't know I had it. And neither did my employers. So it was not something we talked about, not out of ill will, but just out of complete ignorance and not knowing. Or should we open up about everything and expect some sort of support at work? Because, oh, now I'm at work, I'm supposed to function well here, so I need this, that, and the other help. I'm not sure. I don't know where the line is. And it would be interesting to hear other comments on this, because we can so easily go into victim blaming. Right? Okay. You're the employee, you have to sort out your own stuff. It's not my problem. Go and do your yoga, go and do your mindfulness and take a deep breath and all those things. There's loads of tools out there to fix the symptoms or take the top off the spike of the symptoms. But it's the systemic things where the responsibility lies somewhere else. And how much more can we dump onto that responsibility, I think, is a question.
I think the other valid point to remember too is the matter of privacy. We talk about bringing your whole self to work. However, a lot of people, like myself when I was struggling, coming to work was also my escape, my antidote, my therapy, because it's all given me breathing space to step away from all the stuff that's going on. And also there's an element of it being a private matter. I mean, I've been through a divorce, I've been through the menopause, I've been through poor mental health struggles. They were a very private matter as far as I was concerned. Other people may have a completely different view, but that was my view. So it's not always about disclosing everything to everyone and expecting the workplace, because for me, it was a private matter. So there's that element in the mix as well.
I think we should offer support. I think we should always ask for help. I wouldn't be here if I had not asked for help. So that is a sign of strength that we get to asking for help.
Definitely.
I just think we should be careful about the kind of help we expect, that it is help for yourself to take yourself forward, not asking for someone to turn up with a solution, flick a switch, and then problem solved. You have to take responsibility for your own life and then work out how can you get to the next step or the next level, whatever the case may be, with the support that you get. So it's help to self-help, not a done-for-you solution. And that is, I think, where certainly I would leave the conversation for now, and look forward to hearing what other people think.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting to hear other people's views. Around resilience, for example. For me, resilience is bouncing back and forward. And as a thing I tend to use with people is like Tigger, find your inner Tigger, find your inner bounce back and forward ability, find your inner tiger. But, sometimes it's difficult to do that, but it'd be interesting, really would be, to hear what other people have to say.
So on that note, let's invite everybody else to top up their coffees or maybe get back to the desks and tell us what you think. Thank you for watching.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.